All right, guys, we are live. Welcome, welcome. You know who it is, the chosen one, Gabriel Skywalker from the DFS Club, and the other chosen one, Matthew, Semi the Jedi, Semelsberger. Matt, what's going on, broski?
What's up, Skywalker? I think the first time I talked to you, I was like, nice name, Skywalker. I wish I had.
Man, a lot of people don't know it's yeah, I am a Star Wars fan and all, but I'm Native American also, but it's a big name in the Native American community.
Really? I mean,
Yeah.
I could totally see that Skywalker and everything, but that's even more badass, man.
Thank you, bro. Yeah, so I kind of just like built it into my brand. So yeah, man. How are you doing off that, man? That last fight, dude. Another. First of all, hold on. Let me back up. I'm friends with Jason Witt. How are you gonna do my boy like that, man?
At least I did it. I did it 1 second faster, at least.
Oh my goodness.
But yeah, man. Actually, I have a lot of respect for Jason. Even leading into that fight, like everyone talks and stuff like that, man. And he was extremely confident, which he got to be being a UFC fighter. But I actually got a lot of respect for him, man. Coming off of that loss to me, he came back in and fought Barbarina in that fight of the night where he got his own 50K, and it was just like it was a real. I was like, hell yeah, like fuck yeah. All right, Wit. You know what I mean? Because I knew that he was a tough guy. And it's just like that's how the game goes sometimes. Sometimes you just take a good shot and you get put out, man. And it was one of those things where I was pumped to see him get back in the win column and especially in a high profile, high energy fight like that. So respect to him. But I had to do what I had to do.
Totally understands, and you know what? He understands, man. He's one of the nicest dudes out there. When I talk to him on the side personally, like he has nothing but respect for you, man. And then another one. You got another quick finish. I don't know what was more impressive, bro. Was it? I don't know if it was the feint left or was it the right that actually put out Sano, man. I mean,
well, the feint
hands and then
yeah, boom. The feint was like the setup.
Yeah,
definitely. So it's like the feint was just as important as the actual finishing shot. And that's actually, I didn't realize this, but my brother we both study a lot of boxing, but Canelo does that too. He'll feint that lead hand, like ever so, like kind of like how I did it. I'm not as good as Canelo, but ever so slightly, you know what I mean? Just to get him to bite enough, and then you just crack him with that rear hand. But also that body jab that I threw to him kind of opened that up as well. So setup, man, there's levels.
Well, there are levels. I mean, there's levels, there's highs, there's lows. I mean, I'm friends with UFC fighters. I know a lot of people say that, but I don't know if you've heard of her, Miranda Maverick, up and comer.
Yeah, I know Miranda.
She was at
not personally, but I know of her.
Oh, okay. She was at my house, and we watched her and her fiance Pete, and we all watched your last fight on the pay-per-view. And nice. She was just like, "Holy smokes, is that over already?"
I had the same thought, man, because I was, I trained really hard for that fight, and I was ready for 3 hard rounds and stuff like that. And and then 15 seconds in, I'm like, "Holy crap, we did it again."
And I know you're a cool dude. I know you're a charitable dude. I follow you on Instagram. I've been following your career. I've always been a fan, even before, even with the Jedi is just a boost in your name. But I mean, you do so much for kids, for special needs kids. And you're the real one for that, man. I gotta just like hats off to you, bro, for being like that as a person.
Yeah, I appreciate it, dude. That's like just how I was raised, man. To be honest, like it's not even like some innate like special quality of mine. It's just like the community I grew up in was like a very blue collar, tight knit community. So even like within my own family, we're very tight, very loyal to each other, and just have like a very tight moral compass. But then at the same time, that extended out to like my community. A lot of the like families that I was around, all my friends and stuff like that, very like minded individuals, and just like I said, like blue collar, like not a lot of no nonsense type of stuff. So that's kind of what that all stems from, man. So I'm happy to do it, and it feels good to be to be kind and give back to like the community and other people. So it feels really good to do it, man. But at the same time, it's definitely nothing spectacular, man. It's just how I was raised.
Yeah, I know, and I know you're humble about it, man. But yeah, you do good things, and the fans see it, we see it, I see it, and there's not a lot of people out. I mean, a lot of UFC fighters out of any sport. You guys are the best. You guys are the most giving. You guys come on, shows like mine. You spend your time because, like I said, I know a lot of fighters, and I know how much time you guys spend in the gym, and especially with you, you play video games, and you have your life like that, so you probably have no time, bro. What's your
Yeah,
favorite video game right now?
right now, I've been on Rocket League for a while, man.
Nice.
The last year, 2 years, I've been getting really good at that. But I've been playing this game. It's called Splitgate. I don't know if you've heard of it.
What?
It's like Halo with the portals in it. So I've been messing around with that. Been playing with my homie Dave, who's out in Albuquerque right now. He's a pro fighter. So we've been playing with each other, and it works out well because he's 2 hours behind me, and I'm a night owl anyway. So I'll be up sort of late after like a late night training session, and he's just getting done. So it's been good, man. Whenever I'm done my training for the day, it's like, all right, train all day and then game all night, basically.
Man, you remind me of myself so much at your age. That was me. Now it's work, do this. I do, I don't know if I do one of the few guys that do Draftkings and FanDuel content for UFC cards and other
Yeah,
sports.
I remember reading up a little bit on your background and seeing the whole DraftKings stuff. But that's rad, man. What exactly do you do for them?
So I do videos, and I also have a DFS club that I have for members that come in that play DraftKings and FanDuel mainly on a daily basis.
Mm-hmm.
So for UFC, I have to watch every single fighter. I go back 3 fights, so I watch a lot of fight tape, man. I probably spend like 10 hours or more a week watching fight tape just so I can break down the fights and who do I think is going to win. I'm sure you know a little bit about that playing college football, watching fight tape, watching the other teams, watching
Yep.
the offense. So
It's
it's
a
cool.
valuable tool, man. A lot of people, it's underrated, but at the same time, it's like you can't just sit there and watch it and just watch it. You know what I mean? You have to actually like break things down and like rewind it and like, oh, that little move he made, was that on purpose? Or you know what I mean? So it's cool, man. You learn a lot of cool little secrets from going into film.
Yeah, I mean, I can't complain. I enjoy it. It's not my full-time job. And man, Chaos Williams looked great. What did you think of his performance? How different did you see that performance from this last pay-per-view to your fight? What did you see different in Chaos, man?
All right, so I'll answer that in a second just because I saw my homie Josh down here. What up, homie? Jigga Josh.
Yeah, that's the man right there.
Y'all the best. Love watching y'all fight. Thank you, brother. Appreciate it. But Chaos, sorry, reframe that question real fast one more time.
So did you see any differences in Chaos's fight, this recent fight, as
with
opposed to
Baszler?
when he fought you? Any differences in his game did you see?
I mean, he's gotten more technically better for sure. Like I knew this going into the Chaos fight, and it was actually something that I was very aware of. That dude is extremely patient, very, very patient. Now he's extremely powerful, and the dude, like on a technical level, when he lets his hands go, there's openings. He'll lift his chin a little bit. You know what I mean? He leaves himself open, but at the same time, he's like a tiger or a lion. Whenever he's stalking, he's very low and he's just kind of very calm and unassuming. So that's like a very unsettling thing to have in front of you, knowing that you have a power striker who's just looking like super calm and just, not in a hurry or anything like that. But then all of a sudden you flip the switch and he's going crazy. So I saw a lot more like he didn't give as much tells with when he was going to explode. With him, when I was fighting, I kind of felt like I kind of had an idea of when he was about to flip that switch, which kept me out of trouble a lot of the times. But at the same time, I wasn't able to counter much. I wasn't able to give much back to him because of the fact I was being so defensive. So I guess safe isn't the best word, but I was trying to be safe. So with Beza definitely landed more and was more like, I think, effective with landing just overall. But at the same time, you see what happened when he finally did get knocked out. He settled into that wild exchanging that Chaos is so used to, you know what I mean? Hence the name. And then he got caught. So it wasn't too much of a difference, but I feel like Chaos just upped his ante on his game in terms of like being that very calm, collective. I'm going to wait for my opportunity. I'm gonna create my opportunity, and when I see it, I'm gonna explode. So that's kind of what I saw from the fight. But what about you, man? What do you think?
I think with this fight with you, I didn't see that coming. I thought his volume would be lower, which is, calculated, like you said. So don't be hard on yourself, man. I mean, I studied all the fight tape. I didn't see all these blitzes coming. I didn't see these 5-shot freaking combos that he was throwing. I mean, and he didn't want none. Like you can see in the third round in his eyes, like I'm good at reading people too. His eyes was like, oh shit. Like I might be in trouble here with this guy.
Yeah, and that's like I felt like I was smart in that fight. I was as smart as I needed to be. And then in that third round, that's when I needed to turn everything on, particularly more in like the last like couple minutes. Because I have finishing power, I have stopping power. Now, Chaos, you're gonna have to hit that dude freaking with your best shot like five or 10 times to finally put him down, maybe. But everyone can get knocked out, everyone can be finished. Some people were harder than others, but it was one of those things in the third round of that fight. I was like, I'll go back and I watch, and I'm like, man, if I just knew, you know what I mean? If everything we're talking about right now, if I knew that in that last 2 minutes, you know what I mean? I might have tried something different. I might have switched my tactics around to try to steal that fight. But yeah, man, I like to be hard on myself. I'm my biggest critic, but at the same time, man, I definitely give myself props and lift myself up when I need to.
And yeah, like I said, no, don't be ashamed about. I mean, you look great in that fight, bro. You look like a warrior. You already look like a modern day Viking, dude. I always tell everybody that. Look at Matt. You look like a Dark Ages Viking out there, and you're huge for the division, bro.
Thank you, man.
See them running it back, man. You guys are probably gonna fight for the title, as far as I can.
Bro, that's crazy because I had that thought, especially after watching him fight Beza. I'm like, well, he just beat number 20 something in the world. He's on his way, to top 15, top 10. I'm like, I always think about it like this whole journey is like, like a big climb up a mountain. So me and Chaos met each other at some point in the mountain, and he got ahead of me. So I was like, now I'm like hiking my way up, trying to catch up to him and get him again. So it's cool, man. This whole experience has been really fun for me, especially even going in with the Chaos fight and then watching him this past weekend. It lit a whole big fire inside of me. I'm like, holy crap. You know what I mean? Look how I did against him, and he's just beating this number 20 something in the world. I'm like, it goes back to the whole question of what am I capable of, which is like a big reason why I'm fighting.
What are you capable of? Yeah, I mean, you're a wrestler by nature, which I respect because I was a high school wrestler. I know about the practices. I played every sport. I play ice hockey. You better have some cardio with wrestling, man. And I know you've fallen in love with your striking, and I don't blame you, man. You're putting people out in record times. You're getting, I think you should have got a fight bonus that last fight. I don't know what people were smoking. I know you're not about that, but I think you definitely should have got that 50K bonus. You probably would have given it all to charity. I know, knowing you, but yeah, man.
Yeah, man, I'm not too pressed about it. It is what it is. But I think partially it probably had to do with and this is just more of like me, you know what I mean? Nothing against Martin Sano, but he, you know what I mean? He wasn't the highest quality, highest tier opponent, you know what I mean? You had all these other guys on the card, who've been in the league for a while and this and that. So, and going back to, I want to earn my bread, man. When I make 50K, like I want to, like when I fought Jason, Jason's a veteran, 18-6, you know what I mean? I'll gladly take that 50K. But when I go in and do exactly what is expected of me, you know what I mean? It was like, that's the way I looked at it. I was supposed to go in there and beat this dude because that's exactly, you know what I mean? That's what it was expected of me. Now 15 seconds is like quite a big stamp to put on it. So I think the whole contract renewal and stuff like that, I won't be specific about it, but they definitely gave me a nice little pay bump when I re-signed. So I think probably that last fight had something to do with that as well.
Yeah, I mean, don't sell yourself short. I mean, the dude's a fighter. I mean, granted, he probably got in because the Diaz brothers like, hey, you want us to fight, you got to bring our buddy in. But still, it's a fight. One punch can change everything. So what you accomplished in that fight, dude, props. That was entertaining. I jumped out of my seat. Miranda jumped out of her seat. Amazing. quick question. What do you got? What tattoo you got there in your hands, man? So throw them up. Let me see real quick. I love ink, man. Reckless.
Yeah. So that's like a I like to tattoo reminders on me, like self reminders. So whenever I let these guys go, that's the demeanor in which I need to throw them recklessly with reckless intentions. But it's also so I play Dungeons and Dragons. So eventually, like my whole hand and this is going to be covered with like a bunch of like D&D and like type of stuff. So in Dungeons and Dragons, there's a class called the Barbarian class, and in it you can do this thing called going reckless, and it basically just gives you a bunch of like bumps to like your attacks and stuff like that. And it's just like I'm into the whole lore of it. So like, you know, a barbarian's like this angry, raged motherfucker. So whenever I go into battle, you know what I mean? Whenever I'm deciding to chuck my axe or swing my sword, you know what I mean? I'm doing it with reckless intentions. I'm trying to kill you. So that's the whole meaning behind the tattoo.
Dungeons and Dragons, man. That when I was a kid, that was around when I was a kid, and I'm 44 years old. Though that game would take like 5 days. Like it was a commitment. You get all your buddies over, and yeah, I mean, I don't know if it's changed since then, but is it still a long freaking game?
Oh yeah, dude. We me and my friends play campaigns that last like obviously not straight through. We meet up like once a week or something like that, but we'll be on the same campaign for like months at a time, man. So we'll be like go in, do like 8 hours straight on like a Sunday, and then meet up the next week and do it all again. And we'll do that for a few months straight until we get through our whatever storyline or campaign we're going through. If we're trying to slay a dragon, we're trying to, you know, go assassinate some like high up like political figure who's like corrupted or some shit like that.
Bro, I could totally dig that, dude. Jedi or Sith?
Jedi, for sure. Jedi. Although it's weird because like I see a bunch of different things, and I've been reading a lot more up on like Jedi and Jedi culture and stuff like that. And it's like interesting how you have like a little bit of a spectrum on the Jedi. You know what I mean? You have like the Jedis who are like to the T, like everything about how the Order does things. And then you have like guys like Qui-Gon Jinn, who's like more of into like the ancient prophecies, and you know, like, he's always having these internal like battles between like why is the Jedi Order like, why do we do it like this? You know what I mean? So it's cool, man. That's why I'm like I'm very much into Star Wars, but I'm more so into like just the Jedi like culture and the Order and like how they do things.
Yeah, that's the thing with Star Wars. Like people don't realize like how much it can relate to real life, and that's why I like it so much. Like certain lines, like I'm gonna ask you, like Count Dooku said to Anakin, like you've learned to control your fear. How do you learn to control your fear when you're making that walk, dude? Like, how do you stay calm, especially now with these arenas are going to be full? How do you keep that? I don't want to say fear. You probably have no fear, but how do you keep that nervousness at bay, man?
Oh, the fear's there, dude. Fear is very real. But it's learning to master it and learning to let it serve you and not master you. So it's like there's a lot of things in life that are good servants but bad masters. Fear is one of them. So whatever you're scared of, whatever you're afraid of, it's like you can't avoid it. You have to confront your fears. There's no dancing around it. There's no, you know, hiding from it and letting it pass. It's just one of those things, man, where you got to deal with it. And I'm a little bit more of like I'm really into like duality and stuff like that. So for me, I like kind of go on both ends of it. So there's a lot of things like fear wise and that scare me, and I let it kind of like fill me up, but I'll sit with that feeling that I have, that whatever that anxiety, that fear is, like at the moment that I have it. So I'm basically trying to like be very aware of like, all right, what emotions am I feeling? Why am I feeling this way? What thoughts did I have that sprung everything up? So it's like almost like a observation type of thing. So whenever I'm actually feeling like a big wave of fear or a big wave of anxiety and stuff like that, it's like almost like I kind of take a second and kind of look inwards and just kind of like find the root of it if I can. So that's more of in the moment. Now I do that as like a daily practice. Like whenever I have things come up, that's like more of like a how I deal with it on a day-to-day basis. Now, when it comes to fights, it's a little different because you're leading up to like this one big moment, this one big event. So when I wake up on like fight day, put my music in and I choose my music very carefully, lyrics, the vibe of everything. So I have my own little playlist that I put together, and then I put that in, and I just tune basically everything out in terms of like I'm in a fighter hotel. You know what I mean? There's um, housekeepers going around. There's random your coaches or whatever having their morning coffee, talking about bullshit and talking about whatever. You know what I mean? Which on a normal day-to-day basis, I'm right there talking with them, submersing myself in their conversation. But it's like, no, we got to fight today. I'm going to push myself away from all this normal, like this and that. I'm going to like get myself in the zone. So I kind of like start getting into my own head on fight day with the music. And then I actually do a little bit of reflecting. So while I'm listening to this music, I'm just kind of going through my memory bank, and I'm David Goggins is he coined the term like your cookie jar. So I'm going into my cookie jar while I'm listening to this music, and I'm thinking about like just all positive things, man. How I want the fight to play out, everything that we've been practicing leading up to it. It's like a visualization thing. So I'm like kind of visualizing the success. I'm visualizing positive things. And then at the same time, I'm kind of going back in my memory bank, and I'm thinking about times in my life that, I had major success, or I performed at my best. You know what I mean? I'm putting myself back into that like mental state. And one of the main ways I do that is through like thankfulness, man, and like gratefulness. So I think about like this whole big journey that I've taken here, and all the highs and all the lows, you know what I mean? And mind you, this is like right, an hour before I'm walking out, after I've warmed up, I'm thinking about everything that I've done to lead up to this point. And it's just all the craziness, you know what I mean? All like the tiny little life's binary, all the little like paths I could have gone off one way or the other that I'm not here anymore. You know what I mean? We're not having this conversation anymore. So it puts me into that mind state that I'm like, I'm extremely thankful and I'm extremely grateful to be alive. And I'm more so grateful and thankful to be here just going for my dreams right now, man. Like, it's just like, I'm getting goosebumps right now talking about it. So it's like, if you think about like going, like imagine like you're a little kid and your mom says, hey, we're going to the amusement park on Saturday. You know how pumped you are to go to an amusement park, right? While you're at the amusement park, you're fully submersed there. You're fully submersed in that whole environment because you're so excited to be there. You're so happy to be there. You're so grateful to be there because it's such a fun, awesome place, right? So that's the way I kind of put myself mentally into a fight. So I'm looking back on all the things that made me who I was today. And B, I'm grateful and thankful for the fact that I'm even have the opportunity to even try to do what I do. So that was a mouthful, but it's a very complex like mental state that you're in, man. I attribute it to like some sort of psychedelic trip because I've never been in more of a metaphysical state than I've ever been in, other than like being in a fight or walking out to a fight, especially in the UFC.
Yeah, I only asked that because I've been in, I've been in street fights. I've done loss prevention where I'm stopping people from stealing, and it's 9 times out of 10, it's a fight. I know my heart's beating out of my chest. My hands are shaking. And here you're going to do it in front of probably millions of people. And that's why I asked that question, and I dig that answer, bro. I might, use some of that knowledge that you just said to calm myself down.
Right? It's like, hey, man, I learned it. It's like one of those things, right? Like I literally, not like I learned by like every little bit of it, but by, getting into like the whole Jedi culture and stuff like that, man. It's literally, like we said, right? You can relate Star Wars to real life with the Force and everything, man. Like I believe in some sort of Force, you know what I mean? I can feel it. It almost drives me in a way, but you know what I mean? I hone in on that stuff, man. A lot of people are like, oh, it's a lot of woo-woo this, woo-woo that. It's like, man, we're on a ball suspended in the middle of space. It doesn't get much more crazy than that, man.
Yeah, to me, I turned to God. You know, I spoke with I had actually a corner man on here, Mr. Cordell Maverick, and he talked a lot about God with me and got me back in touch with him. So yeah, I can do better as a person. And you know, glory to God. That's my thing. Not everybody's thing, obviously. Um, one, I have to ask you, bro. Are you rocking the mullet right now?
I am.
Yes. Oh, I love it, dude.
Yeah, actually, yeah. I'm growing my hair out for a while. So next
Oh,
fight,
okay.
I'm gonna have the flow in full force.
You're really gonna look like a Viking.
But hold on, man. I gotta show you this. Want to see my college football picture?
Hell yeah.
It was so in college, my senior year was the longest my hair's ever been. And bro, it's pretty long. You're gonna
Yeah,
crack up
you don't
laughing.
straight up look like a fucking Viking now. When you grow that hair out, people Hollywood's gonna be calling you.
Right. Well, it's funny you say that, man, because I've literally had like I'll tell you this in a second.
Whoa! Look at Kevin Nash right there, big sexy. That's bro. I wish I could
Yeah.
my with that. That's awesome, dude.
Yeah, man. So, but yeah, the long hair staying. I wanted to have like after my UFC debut, I was pissed that I cut my hair. I don't know why I did, but I can't remember. I think I hit like an awkward stage and had enough of it or something like that. But my original plan, and I think I'm gonna follow through with it. It's gonna take a while. But you know the movie Avatar?
Absolutely.
So, you know, like they're sick, like they have like the almost like the mohawk, and then it's like a long all the way down to like their tail that they hook into things. So I had this idea. So I have like this front part or whatever, and then I have like the sides and stuff that are gonna keep growing. So I wanna grow this part so it gets super long and then turn it into like the Avatar mohawk and have it start going back down the back. So we'll see
Bro,
how that works out.
you're gonna look like when you get to the last level of a video game, you're like the freaking boss that you have to beat at the end of the game.
Yeah.
You get
Yeah,
that
man.
rocking, dude. That's awesome, man. Couple more questions. I'm gonna let you go because I know how busy you are. But again, man, thank you so much for coming on.
Yeah,
Um,
man.
yeah, bro. Obviously, you have to. I don't want any details, but please tell me you got re-signed.
I did
I
get
know your
re-signed.
contract was up. Good. Hopefully, Uncle Dana took care of you. How is I ask everybody this. Have you met Dana White and how is he?
So I haven't gotten to meet. Well, I did meet him, but I haven't gotten to actually sit down and like have an actual conversation with him. Just because we were in the whole fight week stuff. But that dude loves fighting. That's one thing I like. You can only you have like this public view of a person, especially like a celebrity like Dana. You know what I mean? Someone who's very well known. You have this like public perspective of them, and then you get to actually listen to the dude talk right in front of you. So after the official weigh-ins, I'm sorry, the ceremonial weigh-ins, we had like a fighter meeting where Dana comes in and talks to like all the guys, gives his spiel. And that guy gave like one of the most motivational, inspirational, like pre-fight speeches I've ever heard in my life, man. It's just one of those things where you could see the energy coming out of him and just like, in the eyes and everything. And just like, you just tell he's very passionate about this. He's very passionate about mixed martial arts. And that showed. And that's kind of what I took away from him. Like, holy shit. I was like, this dude genuinely loves fighting and genuinely loves this sport. So that was like, it was like a very good feel good moment for me. Cause it's like like I said, you never know how someone is until you get to like actually talk to them behind closed doors or like hear them talk. And here he is, in a room full of his fighters. And he's giving them their pre-fight speech. It was like a little, honestly, kind of right along the lines with Proximo talking to Maximus before he goes in and talks. You know what I mean? Like, thrust this sword into another man's chest and they'll love you for it.
Yeah, I've heard that about him. I mean, everybody knows he's legendary for his speeches. That's one of my bucket lists is that to be able to talk to him on my show or even meet the guy. I've heard mixed reviews from fighters about him. But I always form my own opinions about people. What's next, man? I know you probably want to, even though it was a short fight, you probably want to take some time off, get through the holidays. I'm assuming, but I know you. Dana calls you up or somebody calls you up. Hey, can you fight tomorrow? You would fucking do it. But
Oh yeah, I would totally do it, man. That's
yeah,
a funny thing though, is my so my team and like everyone around me, and not going back to like, talking about like being a giving person and stuff like that, just how I was raised. I was raised to be patient. I was raised to be the type of person to like, you know, be not like content, like happy and content with staying where you are, but be like content with where you're at. You know what I mean? So I want to say, man, if they did offer me a fight in a week, I would totally take it. But my coaches, my team, my family, and everyone around me, they want me to be successful in the long run. So we're gonna wait a little bit, but not long. So I think maybe we're shooting for like March in 2022. So
okay.
take the rest of this calendar year and just keep. I've been in the gym ever since this last fight. I maybe took like a week off and then I hop back in. So everything's kind of vamping back up. I've been super busy on my grappling and my striking and everything like that, man. So I'm just kind of adding to the arsenal right now for the rest of the year. And then whenever, honestly, man, within the next month or so, I wouldn't be surprised if I have something inked up for like March. But yeah, man, I think early springtime is where we're looking at. But yeah, man, I would love to get back in there. You know what I mean? If I could fight every week and I was healthy enough to, I would totally do it. But at the same time, I'm trying to make a climb. I'm trying to climb the division. So that takes some time and that takes some work. So you got to be cool with that,
Yeah, that's another thing, man. It's just what you said is exactly what I tell some of my UFC fighter friends. Like, are we going out there for this paycheck? Or are you really like, what's in it for you, as opposed to what do you have to gain from it, as opposed to what your opponent has to gain from it?
Right.
You got to be smart, man, and you got a good head on your shoulders. And man, you added to your arsenal. I can't wait to freaking see that in March. But I know you don't call out opponents. You'll take whoever they give you. Anybody in particular that you think that they'll throw at you or that you want to fight next?
No one in particular. And like I said, I'm not like in a few fights, once I kind of get a little bit more of some tenure in the UFC, I'll start throwing some names out there and stuff like that. But this wasn't from me, but I've been seeing a couple of different things out there. Different people throw, how like people throw together random like matches to make and stuff like that. So random one I've been seeing is me and Ian Gary.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so someone or there've been a couple of ones I've been tagged in that people have been throwing our names together. So I was like, "Oh, that'd be a pretty interesting fight." So maybe him. I don't know, man. Whoever the UFC wants to throw at me, I'm cool with whatever.
I knew you were gonna say that, but that's just how humble you are. Let's see, real quick. Let's see. Adam says, "Love watching your fights. Keep up the great work."
Adam, thank you, sir. I hope you have a good day.
And we at the DFS Club, we talk like you, man. We don't say money, we say bread. We say bread. That's our thing.
Heck yeah.
But yeah, we made a lot of bread off of your on Draftkings in your last fight with that quick knockout. He wants to know when you're fighting. I already asked him that. But yeah, all right. So let's see. Oh my God, yeah, that shit would be a good ass fight.
Thank you, sir. Right? I agree. I think it would.
Yeah, Josh is so passionate, man. Joe says yes, knockout on the Lucky Branch.
That's funny.
Oh my goodness.
Hey man, I'm for Team America, so let's do it.
USA, baby, USA. Matt, you go by Matt or Matthew?
Either one, man. That's it's funny because my name's Semi. People call me Semi too, and they're like, "Is it Semi or Semi?" I'm like, "Whatever you want it to be." To be honest, I don't care.
Okay, yeah, I feel you. Everyone calls me Sky. Will you prefer Gabriel or Gabe? I get the same question. So
yeah,
but you're like me. You're like whatever. Call me whatever you want. Thank you so much for being a part of the Skywalker DFS show. How can we first, before we do the shout outs, how can we support you? How can we support your, speaking of bread, your fighting career? Do you sell merchandise? Do you have a website? Do you have anything that the Skywalker DFS family and the DFS club can kind of help you out with your training camps and just help you fund that stuff?
So I don't have anything like merch wise. I'm actually working on some things right now. So hopefully by maybe December or maybe like by the new year, I'll have some stuff out there. But other than that, man, I don't really have like anything necessarily business wise going on at the moment. But honestly, man, the best thing you guys can go do is just go out and do something nice for someone, man. Like, go hang out with your mom, hang out with your dad, hang out with somebody in your family you haven't seen in a while. You see a homeless person begging for money, give them $1. You know what I mean? Like, was it like that one quote that people are talking about going to the past and changing the future by doing one little tiny thing, right?
Butterfly effect.
Right. Yes. It's like the reverse butterfly effect, man. You can change everything in a more positive way by just doing small, positive, nice things, man. So do that. And then whenever I get my merch up and stuff like that, if you want to support, I'll be doing a lot of like charity work through that. And then I'm actually going to be streaming sometime soon with my video games. So keep an eye out for that.
Yes, I will definitely keep an eye out for that. And I'll keep in touch. Let me know when the website goes up. I would like to own some Semi the Jedi merchandise.
Oh, heck yeah, man. I'll send you some for sure.
Because I'm a huge fan, and you have a lot of fans out there, and we'd love to support you any way possible because you're a genuine dude. Anybody that comes on my show, I got your back 1,000%.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate it.
Very loyal person. No, God bless you, and thank you, man. You are the man. Anybody you want to shout out? The floor is yours, my man.
All right. Well, of course, Crazy 88, my team, and then Clinch Academy out in Frederick. That's where I started at before I made the switch over. So yeah, all my family, all my friends. Yeah, man, that's about as far as it goes for me, man. My team and my friends. And yeah, that's it for me, man. Thank you, bro. Shout out to you.
Well, I hope you don't be a stranger. I hope we can have you back on. I've been waiting for this for a long time, dude. Honestly, I didn't.
Yeah, man. I know we've been trying to get it set up for a bit, man. But yeah, dude. Whenever I sign for my next fight, we'll link up, man. We'll do like another little episode, and we can talk about the next fight and whatever comes to mind.
Yeah, I'm not one of those pushy guys. Like, I'm just like whenever, because I know how busy you guys are. So I'm just like, I don't want to set a time and date because, yeah. But
I appreciate it, man.
I know you come back on, man. And like we always say, guys. Thank you for watching. God bless you. God bless your loved ones. Another day above ground is a good day, guys. Remember that. Every day above ground is a good day. Shout out to Matt. Shout out to him. God bless his family. God bless you, brother. And thank you guys for watching. And let's hit him with the outro, Matt. Check this out.
Ooh, I'm excited now.